Hey guys, it's Caden. Today is Sunday, September 22nd, 2013. So, hope you guys enjoyed my little video that I posted, my last video that I posted. I was trying to think of a way to announce things without being too serious about it. Yeah. So I figured in this video I would answer some questions that I've been asked repetitively, so that everybody can have an idea of how this came about and all that good stuff. So I've been on testosterone now for, well, not now, but up until recently, I was on testosterone for 3 years. On and off-ish. Please excuse this huge bump on my face. My face is currently breaking out. Apparently, pregnancy is not going to be good to my skin. Hooray. Or my nose. I've been told I have a pregnant nose. Anyway, we'll get into that. So, at any rate, for 3 years, I was on testosterone, on and off, blah, 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 blah. So, this year, March 28th, 2013 is when I had my top surgery. I went to Dr. Medali in Ohio, and he had me stop taking testosterone at least 6 weeks prior to my surgery, and I didn't take... Like I said, my surgery was on March 28th. I didn't start taking testosterone again until June. In between time, everybody knows now that I'm married to my husband. And we were not married at that time, but it had been a long time, okay? So we had a lot of time to make up for and whatnot. And we made up for it, and bam, I guess that's when I got conceived. At any rate, so after surgery, why is my beater or something like that? Anyway, after surgery, everything was good. No, I did not know that I was pregnant. I didn't know until maybe a week ago that I was, in fact, with child. All I knew was that things were weird with me. I've always had, well, not always, since like 2006, I got diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is hyperthyroidism, which means that I had an overactive thyroid. But it, excuse me, I wasn't getting it treated or anything like that because I didn't like the medicine, yada, yada, yada. So I started going back to the doctor. I let the doctor know that that was what it was. I had a lot of blood work done, and it came back that I was hypothyroidism, or I had hypothyroidism, sorry. So I started medicine for that. And another thing I noticed is that I was like steadily, not like drastically, but steadily gaining weight. Although my appetite was less and I wasn't eating any worse or anything, it was just kind of odd. My energy was way down, and you know, things were just kind of weird for me. So it was like an ongoing thing, me going back and forth through to my doctor, and I guess he didn't think to check to see if I was pregnant because I was on testosterone. It didn't click in anybody's head, including my own or my husband's, or you know. So he kept adjusting my testosterone level, the way I was taking my testosterone from intramuscular to subcutaneous. I don't know, the cat just decided to join. And he checked blood sugar to see if I was diabetic, because it was just, I couldn't get myself together. I was just entirely too tired. Appetite was all out of whack. I started getting headaches, and I'm just gaining all this weight. I'm like, what the hell? So, after we found out I had hypothyroidism, I started taking the medicine and everything like that. Everything was okay. And I ended up starting maybe about a few weeks ago. You want to say hi, cat? Come here. Maybe about a few weeks ago. Say hello to the kitty. Maybe about a few weeks ago, I started realizing I had to use the bathroom. I had to pee a lot, like all the time. And everybody was like, "Oh, maybe you have a UTI or something weird like that." Bye, kitty. And I'm like, "No, I know that this is not a UTI. I don't know what it was. I thought it was like diabetes because it runs in my family." So I'm going to the bathroom all the time, and I'm freaking out. And what tipped me off about a week and a half ago was I went to get a massage. Not went to get a massage. I was home, and my husband was going to give me a massage. And I laid down on my stomach, and it felt like I was laying on like a pillow or something. So I lifted up, you know, trying to move whatever was there. And lo and behold, nothing was there. I was like, okay, something is weird at this point. So, and then I had noticed, like, I was looking at pictures of myself on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, why is my nose so wide? And I went to Elijah, my husband, and I'm like, did you notice that my nose is wide? He was like, no, babe, you look fine. When I kept telling him I was gaining weight, no, babe, you look great. And I'm like, this nigga's bugging. Anyway, so, finally I decided, you know, I was like, you know what? He was at work, I was off, and I was like, you know, I think I should take a pregnancy test. I was like, the chances are very slim. We kind of made a joke out of it. We were like, it's going to be negative, and we're just going to have to go to the doctor and figure out what the hell's wrong. So I took the test, and I wish I could reenact the face that I made in that bathroom. When that cross turned into a cross, I almost fell the fuck out. Like, I was just like, for like 5 minutes, and I opened the door, and I peeked out the door at my husband, and I said, we are so fucked. And he was like, what? You're pregnant? Oh my God. So we sat there in kind of like shock and horror or dismay maybe for like 20 minutes, and I just could not wrap my head around it. I was like, we need to go. I need to get out the house. So we went to Red Lobster, and I was like, I need another pregnancy test. Maybe that one was defective because it's just impossible. How? So we went to a different Rite Aid pharmacy on a different side of town and got the same type of pregnancy test, which I didn't even want to wait to get home to take. I took it in the bathroom at Rite Aid, and lo and behold, I mean, as soon as the pee hit the stick, pregnant. I was like, okay, what the fuck? So I let that marinate overnight, and the next day, I was like, well, maybe I should get a digital test. So I went, and I was like, maybe it's because I got the Rite Aid off-brand test. Maybe those were just defective. It was a whole defective batch that was terrorizing Philadelphia. So I went and I got Clear Blue, the digital and the regular test. And I pissed on both of them at the same damn time. And as I sat there, my whole body shaking, waiting for this digital one to come up, the cross on the other one had already come up. Boop, pregnant. I was just like, well, here it is. So I made an emergency appointment at the doctor, thinking, okay, well, I'm pretty much pregnant. The looks on the nurses and the doctor's faces when I told them what I was in there for was just hilarious, to say the least. The doctor thought he walked into the wrong room after he got my test, because it wasn't my normal doctor, by the way. The real shocker came when he measured the baby, and he was like, judging from my measurement, you're about 20 to 21 weeks. And me and Elijah, we both started counting. We were like, 25, 4. That's 5 months. I was like, that's not possible. I thought 10 weeks tops. He was like, no, that's 5 months. And he does the sonogram. And the first, he was like, do you want to see it? And I was like, of course. He turns it, and all I see is face and baby like flipping around in my stomach. There was a little alien baby in my stomach. So he was like, well, you know, I can't say I see this very often. He let me know that I made his day and all types of stuff. So that's where we're at right now. I've had another doctor's appointment that confirms that I am 21 weeks. I have not had an official sonogram yet. I have that on Tuesday. Today's Sunday, so one more day of waiting. I have to go to a high-risk doctor because I was taking testosterone for... So if I got pregnant in April, I started taking testosterone in June, like beginning of June. And I stopped taking testosterone in August, so I was taking T for 2 months, which can affect if I have a girl, it can affect her genitalia, from what I'm understanding. There's no real conclusive, definitive answer as to the effects of testosterone, because most trans guys that do get pregnant, they stop taking T to get pregnant, whereas mine was more or less an accident. That sounds so horrible to say, that it was like an accident. So, I will... This video was a lot longer than I expected it to be. I will update again Tuesday after my doctor's appointment. I'm really hoping for a boy. Send me positive vibes. Boy vibes. Send me boy vibes. Matter of fact, look, please tell him. See, I'm already calling him. Please tell him. Boy. Boy. Alright. So, next video will come in a couple of days, in which I will show, I'm sure I'll have sonogram pictures and gender information and more information to share with you guys. Until then, later.